mental health well-being programs are much needed interventions for entrepreneurs, whether they are successful or not. If they are successful, they need help in balancing their success with the cultural expectations and collective traumas from their past. If they are not yet successful, they need to help to feel the worthy of their success. On our previous episode, we looked into the issue of being our own enemies in terms of self-sabotage. Today, we are zooming into entrepreneurship and the struggle that is faced by most of entrepreneurs. Bongile Mkumbeni, the founder of 1000 Circle Foundation and a therapeutic coach, assists entrepreneurs to break the plateau and realize their fullest potential. He's with us today to unpack this issue. 1000 Circle Foundation.
Later.
1000 Circle Foundation.
Sakele.
The name.
Hmm.
Quite a very interesting name. And the thinking behind it, I am quite certain it was informed by something. Can you start there?
Yeah, it's basically thousands and thousands. You know, in Soto there's dikit. 7 dikit circles. Thousands and thousands and thousands of circles where people can speak their truth, and they can have safe spaces where they can speak their truth and unlock their potential. So in my past, I was doing consulting for small businesses, training and stuff. So I've always wondered and wanted to understand why are particularly Black-owned businesses not growing? You know, we'll start there. I trained people. I used to do program for CEDA, training the NPI, GEP. I used to do trainings for all these organizations, and I couldn't see any progress. People attend trainings, and then others will make some money today. Tomorrow they are broke, and and then I'll talk to men as well to see men that are unable to speak their truth. So the idea came with that, and it's really my purpose more than just an instrument to generate revenue. It's more of my purpose of unlocking human potential through thousands and thousands of circles.
So when you're talking about unlocking human potential, can we perhaps maybe expatiate?
Yeah, it's soft and hard, you know. So we unlock human potential through working on soft issues. You know, emotional and mental well-being of people, healing them mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and otherwise. You know, and the physical aspect is a little bit broad. In the physical segment of what we do, we look at the heart properties to say, if you're having a challenge as a man,
Sure.
you can look at the emotional stuff, you can look at emotional, spiritual, and mental problems. But at the end of the day, for you to transition or have your situation changed, you'll need tangibles. So the heart issues in solving the problem is coming up with tangible solutions. A person might need a job. A person might need accounting in their business. A person might need to go to men's clinic. A person might need to go to the gynae as a woman. A person might need to read a book. A person might not need to go see a doctor. So we provide that holistic solution. in unlocking human potential. There's a gentleman here in our offices that writes books. I had a conversation with him earlier to see how it can be part of the unlocking piece, through his offering of writing books. So the unlocking piece is broader than just the soft or the hard properties.
A very different concept, basically, in terms of coaching or mentoring.
Yeah.
Because you get traditional ways in terms of how you could be able to mentor and coach, and mostly of them are technical in nature. And you go there, you feel as if where when you're an entrepreneur, people are actually guiding you. This is what you need to do for your business, your revenue, your marketing and stuff. But there are these issues that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And those particular issues are the ones that actually make you to be able to either focus on your business and be able to make it work, or your business going down the drain because of these underlying factors. How can you be able to actually deal with both?
Yes, we deal with both. As I said, I do consulting for small businesses. The problem has always been that I'll advise a business. So I had some clients who were in the dreadlock business, for instance. They have salons everywhere in the country. Get equity into these businesses, and then work with these businesses and with this business, specific business, without really mentioning the name, but and then we provide them with all sorts of solutions to make sales and grow the business. But the business is as we are wounded as a people, you have so much money, but you lose the same money that you have. So in my analysis of working with many of these businesses, I've realized that there is a deeper underlying soft issue, mental, emotional, and coding that we carry, or most of our businesses carry, that results in non-growth or collapse, Yeah. So, and then I'll work with the individuals, then the business owners, because unfortunately, a business owner is the root of the business. So when the root dies, and when the root is not okay, it manifests in the fruits that come from the tree, So if the owner is healed, then we're able to achieve the goal of making sure that the business grows. And without making this sound like an academic subject, it's a fundamental problem that I think attributes failure or non-growth of these businesses. Like I said, I've been doing trainings. I've been involved in these businesses. I have got equity in these businesses, and I'll work with these businesses. I'll actually get involved in running these businesses. The underlying problem has always been the soft issue, because I can talk to you about marketing in your business. I can talk about accounting. I can talk about governance in your business. I can talk about auditing. I can talk about anything that is related to business management or business. But if you're not okay, if you're not in a good headspace, you'll collapse it. You'll wake up tomorrow and buy a Maserati. You'll wake up tomorrow and some of the guys, some of my old clients wake up tomorrow and then their friends are all over the business. There's no difference. They just want to be surrounded because they are the man. You are the woman. You are surrounded. You spent the money. And you don't realize that the underlying problem is the wound that you have that results in your business failure. So that's why then we found ourselves being in the space where we're focusing on understanding deep reasons for non-growth, which I think are fundamental, because I know the other part. I've done the other part for most of my life, whether it's training, you name it. I mean, training, I did productivity capacity building programs for businesses. So yeah, then the idea is really to engineer, and I love the softer piece now. That's why we are doing this work for particularly for small businesses on business 1,000 circles.
Who opens up the most? When you with your clients, I find that females tend to sort of open up, and male entrepreneurs have got this approach of really thinking, some of them thinking they have it. And you find that, like we had spoken the last time, that you become your worst enemy of distraction.
I think for me, it's neither here or there. I mean, the way that I run my processes, you'll open up. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you are a female or a woman. It's either you want open. It's about technique.
I get you.
I can make you open up right now because I know how. Also, it's energetic that you'll be able to open up. But answering your question, generally, I think we have an idea that women open up, but they don't really open up. They speak on the surface until I speak to them.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear the story behind your laugh. So, like, they speak on the surface. Men generally don't talk because society has almost indoctrinated men to not talk in our culture, to say that we become a secret society of some sort, to say, Singamadoda, we don't talk, secret society, But yeah, there's that secrecy, and that secrecy makes it difficult for men and women to talk, and thereby not being able to get any kind of help or assistance to unlock their potential, to re-engineer the potential of their businesses, because the person themselves is still in secrecy.
So the re-engineering part of it, I presume that it has to start from within, and the willingness for you to be able to expose yourself and be vulnerable.
Indeed.
And the vulnerability in terms of entrepreneurs, when you have to start with somebody such as a Cindy's, as an entrepreneur, and who's facing so many challenges in being able to break that plateau that I just referred to, where do you begin?
I hate to say this. I mean, in our previous conversation, I also alluded the fact that if this conversation is not helping you, your business needs to collapse. You need to lose your marriage, right? You need to lose everything in order for you to realize, but hi, man, something is not right. Yes, and that's when you go deep within and want to get answers. Then that's when you find the work that I do, And it's so very important to have these conversations, because the work that I do is a little bit different from traditional work of a consultant that will speak to, that will advise you about the business. It's still not, it's a new thing. It's not really new, but it's not what people are used to, but it's important to have these conversations so that people can realize, to say, man, this is what Bongile is talking about. And so that's basically what it is.
And the healing journey of it.
It differs from person to person. I think, to be frank with you, I have what we call a wounds work. It's like basically a 3 months program looking at your shadow coaching. And but you just become aware, because a lot of people don't understand healing. It's like when you are healed mentally, it's like you must get something. Healing comes with awareness, just making you see something that that you are healing. So it's not like something that you say you're gonna be here for a week and then you're going to be healed after that. Even physical health healing, it takes a bit of time. You don't really know when your headache is going to heal if you have a chronic headache problem, not the one that you can take grandpa for. You might have to deal with other underlying issues. So even the model is like that, that we look at other underlying issues that manifest in how you run your business, and thereby come with tangible solutions, whether it's accounting, it's finance. Because sometimes imagine, I speak to a corporation that needs to finance your business that needs 20 million. And then you're going to take the whole 20 million and then buy Ferraris.
You're still going back to buying the Ferraris.
You will.
Yes,
because you need to make appearances. You need to show your brothers to say, I'm feeling lendile. So I stay in Danefen Golf Estate.
Sure.
Come to my house, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it needs to be part of the plan. And planning normally is very mechanical. It does not speak to the heart. So the difference with 1,000 Cycles, we speak to the heart and do the planning. Yes.
There's a lot of challenges that are actually facing entrepreneurs. One being the economic situation that we're actually facing in the country. And there's a lot of responsibility that actually comes with a lot of things when it comes to you being an entrepreneur, because you are carrying on your shoulders a whole lot of responsibilities.
Why?
And,
Why?
We often find ourselves trapped in that environment where uthwele man, kuninzi. You understand? Like kuninzi, uthwele, kuninzi. There's a lot that is happening. There's people that are depending on you, but you don't even know exactly where to even begin. Simply because when you knock somewhere, or you don't open up and you think you're going to be able to resolve that problem, the tangible issues that you're talking about that has to be explored, do you find that it receives enough resonance within entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think yes and no. Like I say, we're a secret society of some sort, even entrepreneurs, and we come from backgrounds where when you speak your truth, you get shamed. It's like, why are you different? Why are you going to start a business when other people are employed? So when you fail out there, you're most likely to hear one or two people that come from your background that will say, "I told you."
Sure.
So how do you speak your truth? Then the craft in itself, or your experience in the craft, can only celebrate success, not the full truth. Unlike our family members that are employed in entities who don't create employment.
Sure.
It's easy for them to go there and say, "Oh, manager at work, man, hayang patanga kahle, things are not good at work," and they get support. So I think our society also is not ready to support entrepreneurs. You talk once, you talk twice, you see that there is no reception. The next time you shut.
Sure.
So you are in your own island.
Mm.
And that results in depression and anxiety for entrepreneurs, which is why we created these safe spaces where entrepreneurs can speak. But then we give them that safe space to speak, but also coaching that goes deep into what has happened to the little boy and a little girl.
Can I be a bit controversial?
Hit me.
The drip story.
Yes.
The success story of Idrip. And there's a lot of opinions that are going on social media, people analyzing what was supposed to happen, what should have happened, assumptions where the business went wrong, the analysis of the person himself in terms of the so-called lifestyle, and there's other ones that have got empathy towards a particular situation, towards a black man, because we cannot celebrate a demise of a black man going down. We can't do that.
Anyone, not just black men.
Even
white.
So what I wanted to, from your understanding, because you are dealing with these issues on a daily basis, where do you think the wheels started to sort of come off with that business?
I've seen the story. I'm not sure of the full details of where it went wrong. Because it's sketchy, It looks like a technical move for after the divorce. It looks like it's real. So I need to get the full story. I have seen, and without judgment, I've seen some videos on socials where there was a lot of celebration, that may mean like spending money, on other things, So I'll need more data so that I can make an informed decision. But being it as it may, collectively, as a people, but there is a wave of celebrating his downfall, if it's a downfall, that you hear people saying, no, he's going down. Some others will also say, oh, yeah, no, he must come back, But mine is about understanding the cause, and that for me will require me to get full data to study him and say, or even work with him and speak to him to say, what happened in your business? And then we'll be able to do work together to say, it could have been this, it could have been that, it could have been that. And also I think as a people, realistically, you'll see there's a trend in South Africa. It happens a lot with entrepreneurs in our journey where there are divorces as we grow, but generally as our generation of entrepreneurs, divorces are a lot. And we need to ask ourselves, what is the collective wound that we have as a people that attributes failure to our businesses? And also separations within our marriages, because generational wealth is built through continuous unity.
Yes.
When people separate, like in this case, it means the lady is going to take a portion of that, he's going to take a portion of that. And if this person has been there through the journey of his growth, it can be a piece that you will take for granted that was a pillar for his success, And yes, people might say, no, I'm an entrepreneur, I know my story. But what makes a person successful is sometimes how are you feeling from someone that cares, that gives you the strength to go again tomorrow morning, you know? So, so we need to do that homework. Go back and say, what is the collective wounding that we have as a people that results in divorces? And I think looking at my justification could be also scarcity, you know, the scarcity mentality that we have as a people, you know, and if because obviously we come from scarcity, generally not all of us, you know, at what point is it messing our lives where I want it all or I want most of it? At what point does the issue of scarcity manifest in our separations and our demise, our fall in running our businesses? You know, because there are times when it gets tough in business, and when it gets tough because of scarcity. And this is not to judge this situation. I've seen it when there's lack, people separate. And when there's more, people want more. You know? So, but the truth of the situation needs to unveil itself so that one can make an informed justification of the situation. But I stand by we are hurt collectively as a people, and scarcity seems to be the root of our fall as a people in business and in many areas of our lives. You know, I've been to many of our families where people will complain about a meal. They can't give him food. We need to have it by ourselves, and they sit there with that. Especially in funerals.
Yeah.
In funerals, you see that a lot. You know, I feel scarcity.
Yeah.
That some people will come through to the funeral and they'll take even the meat that was bought for the funeral. They'll steal it and take it. Scarcity, you know. And there will be this lady that is feeding people meat there. That will be saying they don't want to feed the people more.
Exactly.
So you see how it manifests itself. And it starts showing in our way of life, in how we do things. And business failure because scarcity. And this is not a black phenomena. It's a human phenomena. But in the context of South Africa, there's more of it because the poverty levels in South Africa are very high. And our history as South Africans has precipitated a lot of this phenomena where there's less. Even if you have more, it feels like less.
So you keep on wanting more.
Yeah, there's an element, then you start becoming greedy.
Sure.
You know, and then you destroy the self-sabotage.
The self-sabotage, yes.
To say now you start self-sabotaging yourself because you want more. I'm here and doing this podcast with you on this platform, and then I want this mic. You know, so, and I'm not saying it's the case with the gentleman, but generally we have that wound, and but each case is different.
So there are success stories of entrepreneurs in this country that have made it, especially in our generation. And there are those that are untold. It is just unfortunate that the drip issue, because of the brand itself being out there,
Yeah.
that story is being told. But there's thousands of businesses that come into the market or goes into the market and fail. And those people do not get a space of telling their own story. So how do we as a society start creating environments where we could be able to learn from each other?
Okay, what we're doing is this in Thousand Circles. We're creating circles everywhere. We have an initiative called Town to Town.
Sure.
Town to Town Circles is basically us moving here in 4 ways, where we add to Soweto. Then speak to businessmen there and speak about their issues and stuff like that. And then move from Soweto to Tema. And then from Tema to Pretoria. So they are themed circles. So right now we're doing ones for gender-based violence and drugs. So there are those that will do for entrepreneurs, you know. And with that, then we are able to unveil whatever problem that might be there, you know. And then see how these small businesses can be supported. I must say, what we do is slightly specialized, you know. In fact, it is specialized, not even slightly. But I want it to be slightly, to look easy, that easier than maybe it is, so that we're able to touch more souls. Yeah, so it's through circles. It's through circles, interventions where we go to different industries, different business owners, different employers, and see how we can support them to unlock their potential. Yeah, because it's really important to do the work. And also on Drip Story, consulting can be done. You know, people can be given money. I had stories that I was listening to Malema on some other platforms saying, hey, Makaibo Patrice, you know, to help, you know, and yeah, you can get a rescue. But where are you mentally as the business owner?
Sure.
Where are you? So that is why I think it's a bit premature to provide a solution. We need to go to delve deep. Then when we unveil that, it becomes a little bit easier for us to provide an accurate solution to the problem. And it is like that with most entrepreneurs. Most businesses that are failing today, it's not about money sometimes.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
There are other underlying mental health issues. And that is what we are dealing with.
So there is this issue. That issue of mental health is very taboo. We normally don't talk about it. I think we're very closed off because as a society or communities, we are really taught that, you know, once uba vulnerable and deal with issues that are affecting you emotionally and mentally, you're seen as weak. But how do we now, as a business community or society, move towards an environment where you can be able to say, I'm enough?
Yeah, I think it's about making it popular. That's what I'm doing.
Sure.
I'm making it easy for people to interact. I'm talking in platforms. I'm on radio. I'm on TV. I'm here, you know. And I hope that you also share the word, you know, that it's okay. And also I think there's also a little bit of misunderstanding about what mental health is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So you need to break it down that outside, you're not crazy. You know, you might be having some anxieties. That's mental health. Because it means that you are not processing things well mentally. And if you're not processing them well mentally, or there's an overload, you'll have anxiety. Or you're not processing things mentally that are happening in your life, you'll have depression. So it manifests itself in such conditions. But with people that help you to unpack your situations, you are unable to process it well, and thereby impact your business positively. It's not craziness. Yes, insanity is also part of mental health.
Yes.
But you don't just become insane. You don't just become, as loosely said, crazy. It steps.
Yes.
It gets there
Yes.
ultimately.
Yes.
Because you're not processing well enough.
I once attended a funeral of some wealthy businessmen in Mpumalanga who, at some point in his life, the business did not go well.
Which it does for most of us.
And he decided to take his own life and that of his wife. At the back of my mind, I was asking myself, Mara, why? Without understanding. Until somebody said to me, if you're in this man's shoes, maybe you would have understood the why part. So that's why what I'm asking you is that for a person to actually get to that part, they say, what happened?
You're not speaking.
His mental state.
You're not speaking about this shoe that is pressing your toe. You're not speaking about that watch that is maybe squeezing your wrist too hard. You're not talking about maybe the earrings. You're not talking about how it makes you feel emotionally that your toes are hurting. It's all these things that you are processing in your head alone. That you become lighter as you start opening up in the circle. Then from there, we're able to deal with different solutions that are related to the soft issues. And thereby look at the tangible solutions of how maybe your business can be impacted. And it's, to be honest with you, some people, they grew up in families where there were no support. They were not supported all their lives. And they've been doing things by themselves. So even asking for help is a problem. There's an issue of lifting my hand. And because you have that wound of not asking for help, it manifests in your business that you wake up one day, you're overloaded with things that you don't understand. The only way out is what? Is taking yourself out. How many businessmen are there? And because the nature of how the industry has become for most blacks, you are ashamed going back as a failure. Why do you go back? We should make it easier for entrepreneurs to go back so that they don't kill themselves.
But is the environment conducive, though, Bongi?
We make it safe. That's why we're having these conversations. To say, whoever that is watching there, have you ever asked your family member that is running a business, how are they feeling? How is their heart? How are they doing mentally? Have you ever asked yourself that question?
Well, nobody have asked me.
And you see what's happening right
now. Well, nobody has asked me, hey?
And you see with that smile, the smile says a lot. It's not really a smile.
It's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
And you've mastered it for how long? Death.
To put on that facade. Yes.
Because it's not your truth. It's for you to be laughing about the fact that you've never been asked.
Yeah.
How many people are doing that? What is your business doing to you?
It actually drains the life from you. It because I think for some reason some people have taken businesses as sometimes their own family, where people that are with you and people that are depending on you, you're thinking of them first before you think of yourself.
Yeah.
And the mental aspect of it is that in your mind, it's either you make it, you have to make it, whatever happens. You're not even thinking of anything else. And you are alone.
And you're going crazy alone. Numbers are not combining. You have to pay rent here, network space. And you can't pay rent. You're pulling a whole lot of people that think everything is okay.
And you don't even share that.
There's that fear that for me, just talking about this, it's very sad. Because I just went to many entrepreneurs that are not saying anything and they are not okay. They're unable to pay their employees. The rents are not, they don't even have money for petrol. They are pulling everyone that thinks everything is okay. How many are there? How many are you guys there? How many? We're going to sponsor this talk. I want to know how many of you guys are there who are seeing sparks, but you are keeping those sparks in your heart.
And by keeping those sparks, then what happens to you?
Heart stops.
Sure. It's a very lonely journey.
Shouldn't be. I think it's just a new thing for us as a people. It shouldn't really be. It's about educating our people about this career, to say it's like any other career. I was watching Olympics. These Olympians, they trained for years and years with injuries and everything just for one day to get that medal. Some of these people, they get injured on the day of competition and never get the medals. How much support does that person need? Most entrepreneurs are also like that. They're in their little corner. They have a good product. They don't know how to sell the product. One of my clients was telling me that he grew up without interacting with other people for the longest time. And from childhood, he used to work very hard, and then he couldn't interact. He has a very good product. But because of his personality, he can't sell that product. And his business is also going through the rocks. That person needs to be in the circle. He needs to be coached.
He needs to be
to support it because it's got a good product.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the space, we need to make it safe for entrepreneurs to really engage. We need to make it easier for them to be engaged and be supported.
You know, but in wrapping up this discussion, I find that we tend to glorify entrepreneurship.
You should.
And in glorifying entrepreneurship, we tend to overlook certain fundamentals of what it really means to be an entrepreneur. In your way and interpretation,
yeah.
What is an entrepreneur?
Okay. Obviously, I've talked and trained a lot about this.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is about It's about innovation, solutions. It's about creating employment. It's about coming up with solutions. An entrepreneur is not the same as a businessman. An entrepreneur is not in the business. An entrepreneur.
I like that part. I like that part when you are saying that an entrepreneur is not the same as, because we tend to almost cut the whole thing into one. Yes.
I'm not selling akere magwenya, akere mesi, akere masale. I'm not. I'm here about solutions. So that's what entrepreneurship is. In other words, then it's easy to clap it, but you need to be innovative. You need to be creative, almost like artistic about your approach. But also, every business must make business sense. It cannot just be like artists, that you make a good song and then it's a good song, it's a good vibe. There must be a market. It must be well financed, because most entrepreneurs, they'll tell you, or most people that are good at things, they'll say, yeah, no, it's a good idea. Then just a good idea. It needs to be realistic. It needs to be feasible.
Sure.
It needs to be profitable. It needs to, I think profitability more than anything. And then you get business people who will be running one entity that sells these cups. And then it makes money. That is not entrepreneurship. You are a businessman.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So there are similarities, but it's not the same. That's so too bad. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So that is the difference. A doctor is not an entrepreneur. A doctor or a lawyer, they are business people ultimately, until one day a doctor comes up with an innovation that changes other people's lives, where he may not have to be there for business to generate money. If I'm there, if I have to be there for me to make money, I'm a businessman. So I'm not a businessman.
You're an entrepreneur.
And it's very important to understand this very well. At some point, you have to be working in the business as an entrepreneur.
Sure.
But your plan needs to dictate clearly that you'll be out of the business. You don't need to be in the business for you to thrive. Then that is entrepreneurship, where you leave your business to other people to run. But if I have to be there for it to run, I'm a businessman. I have to watch everyone and say, what am and then you are a businessman.
Umbheke kuma-camera all the time. I know someone like that. If he's listening, he was just fucking. Oh my goodness! Yes. Oh my god! Yes.
When they didn't go to work, they're not making money the whole day. So you're not an entrepreneur. I shouldn't be there if I'm an entrepreneur, because your planning needs to dictate that at some point you mustn't be in the business. If you are in the business, you're not an entrepreneur.
So the business should not consume you.
Yes. I shouldn't be carrying speakers if I own a sound business. I shouldn't be carrying these cameras if I'm in production, if I'm an entrepreneur. We can carry them in the beginning, but quickly I must go into my position, because every business has, I can't teach you this. There's this, you get a board, you get a strategic group, the people that looks at the business strategy and all that. All those areas are technical or operational. There needs to be someone that is in each and every area. In the beginning, you might find yourself doing these things, but quickly, it must be in someone else's hands.
So, the country itself, as much as you are saying, Khori, there's people that are business people, there are those that are entrepreneurs and stuff going forward.
Yeah.
But is there a conducive operational environment that enables one to move from a businessman mindset to being an entrepreneur?
Yes. Yeah, yes, there is. It's like you say, it's a mindset. It also takes some education, because I also didn't just have this idea, I needed to acquire knowledge and understand the difference between what I do and what other people are doing, and understand what butters the bread, and have full understanding of oneself. So I think it's conducive, but I think it's more about the content. It's about the seed that is put in people that are in business. If the way that you taught business is that you must be in the business, and that is the idea that you were taught, you'll be in the business. You'll have to be there for the rest of your life, for whatever meaning that it means for you.
Sikhule kanjalo vele nje, abakithi barun ispaza shop bahleli
Clearly so. Can't stock. But where are the Oppenheimers?
Yes.
The Ackermans.
Yes.
Where are they?
Yes.
They're running entities using systems.
Yes.
And the systems are working.
Yes.
Checkers. The system is working. The person, the person is not in the business. But at some point, like I say, Ackermans who and let's say Checkers, these brands, the owners, the founders worked in the business, and later on then they came up with new ways of running the retail shops, and maybe getting involved in other businesses, So it's very important to have a distinction and understand that at some point you become a businessman. You have to be a businessman even if you're an entrepreneur to make it work.
And then you transcend.
Then you grow. Or you become an entrepreneur initially, but it happens when you have some money to invest.
Yes.
Because you'll be able to buy systems.
I get you.
Then you're managing systems.
I get you.
Yeah.
So, in closing, future for 1,000 Circle Foundation.
Yeah. We're activating all communities. We're activating all communities. We're activating these circles. We are going to do a sequel of these circles in various communities, of course, and speaking to different people, and whether it's gender based, entrepreneurship. So we're going to do a lot of that, but even the actual work, not just conversations.
Sure.
Because sometimes when we do conversations, it's easy to think that we are doing the work. It is just a conversation.
I get you.
Yeah, the work is when I sit down with you and you tell me, Bongil, I can't do this thing anymore. Then we are working. Yeah.
On that note,
1,000 circles.
So you heard it from the man, from the horse's mouth, in terms of how he actually sees entrepreneurship going forward. And, we need to start talking as a community, as society, We need to be able to look at having circles of support. And circles of support starts from foundations and forums such as these ones. And in that note, we would like to thank you. Thank you, Bongi, for gracing us with your presence. The journey has just started. There's a lot that still has to happen. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen. We need to find each other as people, because I think that scarcity is dictates us to change our way of thinking. And if there are individuals such as yourselves that are there, that are passionate in being able to make a difference in one's life, I think they need to be recognized and they need to be thanked. So for your work and what you do and the service that you do for others, may it thrive. Forum for Marginalised, please subscribe, please share, please like. There's a lot more that is to come. Thank you, Bongi.